We are live. We are also direct. She leads, she sells. We are here live with Heidi Meckley, who is a superb truth teller, soul aligned coach, helping people reconnect, realign, and rise. If people have done the work, they've read the books, they've pushed harder, but deep down they know they're playing small and being caught in their same repeating patterns. Heidi helps them to find their soul calling for more freedom, more alignment, and more peace with the Meckley method, helping people release the trauma bonds, the old energetic patterns to break cycles of self-sabotage and fear, stepping into clarity, confidence, and aligned action, creating the success in the various areas of their lives with the signature fusion of intuitive soul healing, psychic insights. Welcome, She Leads, She Sells. Heidi, speak to me.
Well, good morning and hello there, everybody. It's a magical place to be in. I absolutely love what I do, and it's about you being able to understand that every single person on this planet has the ability, has a gift of intuition. It's guaranteed. It's a matter of if you're tapping into it or not. And that's what I help you do, because everybody lets their past stories, other people's influences and fears attached to them, and they live their lives without recorrecting the fact that they get to choose what belongs and what doesn't to them.
Let's fast forward. Let's look at how people are after. So I think we've got a good idea of where they are before. Give a couple of results that you get for people, just so we can understand where you take people.
It's a sense of peace and freedom so that you live your life with full purpose. You end up going from shiny object syndrome to being fully focused and connected with who you are, being able to say no, being able to fully step into what God has given you and your purpose to be here on this planet, so that you have a life that feels more relaxed, more at ease. You don't live with the fears, and you learn that when you do feel any type of fear, you understand that when you get to the other side, there's something magical, instead of letting it stop you in your tracks and making you stay stuck where you are. I've had people where not everybody that comes to me works with a business of any sort. Some of them just want to really change and reshape their life. And I had one that started with me recently where she was so fearful about what everybody else was thinking and trying to make everybody okay, that she just didn't understood that she was allowed to give herself permission to say no and to live her life first and foremost for herself, which is what every person on this planet should do. You need to fill you first before you can give, because when you fill yourself first, you have so much more to give others. And she's at peace. We're working on the nervous system part because she manifested and got there so fast that her nervous system's a little wonky, and we're working on that. But she had a crap ton of stuff hit her that if it would have done this 6 months ago, she would be in the hospital. She is not. She's okay. She's able to get through this and understand that she can only control what she can control, and the rest will follow. And that's massive for somebody to not end up in the hospital for stuff that normally would pile on, and that's where she would be. And I have many more, but I don't know how many of them you want me to go into.
No, I mean, next, let's pivot into business. Like, what do you do for people in the business? Do you help them to scale, grow? Like, yeah, give us some idea of what you do specifically with people who might be in business.
For the ones that are in business, basically what happens is they're coming to me because they feel stuck in some capacity. They feel like they're hitting a ceiling or whatever it is. I help them go inward first and foremost, because that's where the problem is, inward. They have to go inward to understand who they are and what they want, not what everybody else wants, not what everybody other coaches are telling them to do, right? They have to understand, they have to feel out their line. I went through coaching through so many things, and I'm like going, none of this feels right. Nothing's working. I'm doing it exactly how they're supposed to do. Well, the problem was I wasn't doing it how I knew I was supposed to do it, not how they were doing it. So I make sure my people understand, like, you always hear everybody says, well, you got to make $10,000 a month or make this amount of money a month. That number doesn't matter unless it truly matters to you. But you have to understand the reason behind that. If you don't understand the reason behind it, you're never going to hit that number. And I work to help you go much deeper to really get to the core story and the core reason as to why you want that number. Because when you have that, you know how they always tell you about your why, you got to know your why, it's got to make you cry or all the things. It doesn't always have to make you cry, but it's got to hit you in your soul so that it helps you to focus and be easily able to say to others, like, no, this doesn't align with where I'm going. I don't need to do this over here. This is what I need to do. And you'll be able to see the opportunities better. Doors will open like you cannot believe when you are fully focused on what you're supposed to be going after. And that
Beautiful.
helps you scale, that helps you do all the things.
This is why you get paid the big bucks, Heidi. Amazing.
Yeah, you've got to go inward first.
You got to.
100%. You must go inward. You've got to shut off all the crud that everybody else has put on you and decide what actually belongs to you. And I guarantee probably 80% or more does not, because you haven't been given the permission or allowed yourself permission to be able to just be you. Everybody is walking around as though they are the person that others expect them to be instead of just being them. And that's the biggest issue. We have to go inward.
Thanks for sharing. And a tool that I have used to get people aligned is a tool called the Ikigai. Have you heard of the Ikigai before?
No, I have not.
The Ikigai is where you align what you're good at, what you love, what you could be paid for, what the world needs, so things align. What do you use yourself in terms of tools wise to kind of find a soul alignment for the people that you're working with?
I actually have a Oracle deck that I use. I also have a journal that I use that I created. But it's mainly my intuition because they can't tell me lies or try to cover up stories. I'm able to pull it out of them because I can connect 100% with the person's soul so that they can't hide, which makes it unique because you hear of psychic mediums and all this where they bring past loved ones. I don't do that. I connect directly with you to be able to help you get out of your own way. But you've got to be ready for it because I don't hold back. I don't sugarcoat. I tell you like it is, but I tell it with love and compassion because I truly want to see my people change. Anyone that comes to me, I want to see them have the massive change that they're looking for. And I've had some come to me, I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what my purpose is. I said, okay, you got to calm down a second. Let's have a conversation first. Let's dig into what you got going on that's covering you or hiding you from being able to feel your purpose. And 90% of the time, they already know what I should say almost 100% of the time, they know exactly what their purpose is. They just needed validation and understanding of what was blocking them from stepping into their actual purpose, which makes it interesting.
Yeah, amazing. Visibility, we know that the fear of public speaking is a top one next to death. So people have that block in terms of getting visible. How are you getting visible in 2026? I know you've got a great website and things, but what are your top 2 ways of you getting visible so people know exactly what you do?
A lot of my stuff is actually coming from referrals now, but I am actually a full-time RVer, so I'm all over the place. So I'm able to visit clients in person, wherever they may be in the US. And I'm visiting shops. My decks and stuff are getting in shops in different states, plus doing in-person events. In person, as we know, the energy lifts a lot faster and higher when you're in person. However, I can still do everything online. I am on Facebook and all the things, but those that are scared about being, because I help them with that as well, you've got to understand that first and foremost, the people who need you are waiting for you. Who are you missing? Who's not getting the help that they need from you because you're choosing to hide? When you start looking at that way and start having 1 or 2 people come to you and you see the changes that they have for what you can help them with, then you start questioning yourself, why am I hiding? Look at what I can do for people. Look at how much I was able to help. And it's a life changer for the people that step into this, whether it their business, personal, because even the ones that come to me that are not in a business, they too are making monumental change and having a massive ripple effect from them choosing to help themselves.
Amazing. Great point in terms of if you've got a great result for someone and they've left with their life changed, why not try and change more lives, right?
Exactly. That's what it's all about. We are supposed to lead with love, lead with our heart, and be able to service and help others in a big way. That's what we're all built to do. It's just we're all done, built to do it in a slightly different way. Because there's some people out there that their purpose might be to be an amazing mother that's able to bring in other kids for daycare or whatever. Perfect. You've got to do you, but you've got to understand what you is. And that's the part that people struggle with because society, parents, family, loved ones, everybody's putting all these stories on top of you. It's about breaking free from those so you can truly see, be, and really step into you and who you are.
Amazing. There's a great quote that I love by Jocko Willink. Follow your own obsession. You know,
Yes,
there's, some people are basketball players and they go deep. Some play golf, some write amazing ads. So it's like follow your own obsession. And
yes,
speaking with you, Heidi, I see that you're very, I taught high school for 10 years and I can see you're amazing at making the ideas short, sharp, concise. Because what did Einstein say? He said, if a 5-year-old doesn't understand it, you don't know it. So I love the way you break things
exactly.
down, Heidi.
Yep. And that's the beauty also of me being able to connect with people soul to soul is I then will start telling stories to them or explaining things in a way that they understand, whether it's football, whatever it might be, that they understand good in their life. I will be given the message as to how to explain it to them so that it connects in a way that I could talk to 10 different people and I'm saying 10 different stories about the same thing because it's how they will understand, which is the beauty of it.
Amazing. She leads, she sells. We're going to lean into the sales piece. And for me, the sales piece really leans into this is what I believe sales is. It's synonymous with this book of adding 10x value in the sales process. And so that's not 10x information, but that might be 10x in terms of the identity shifts you give people or the implementation or the unique insights rather than just a script that you give someone. So for me, sales, it's about exponential shifts that makes people think, oh, Heidi's my gal, James my guy, that sort of thing. What does sales mean to you? And how do you, what's your tips in terms of selling?
Well, I'm one of those that I don't like to go after the number. I can't look at the number as in dollar number because I get too competitive, and then people can feel it from me where they think that they're a number to me and they're only a dollar sign, and I never want people to feel that way. So I go after a different number. I know what my dollar amount is, and then I shoot for the number of people I need to help in order to hit said number. So sometimes we have to look at it differently because there's a lot of me out there that don't every time you start to go after that number, either you have a bad money mindset or you just have an issue with money. You have to shoot for the number of people you can actually help. And by doing that, you end up, and my best way to do that is with an action board. By having an action board every single month on a whiteboard. Of course, in the RV, it's a little difficult, but I find my ways to make it happen. You put down the date of that you're helping somebody, their name, how much it was, and how many whatever that they purchased so that you can have an easily target every single month. Did I get it? Am I getting it? Or am I not? Because if you don't have your numbers or your data in vision, it's going to be harder to know where you are in the month instead of having to look it up every time. Having it right there, quick little board to let you know exactly where you are in the month to say, okay, I got to pick it up, or okay, I'm doing great. I can do this other little thing that I've got to work on is a game changer by having those you got to have your data. You got to have those numbers and know what you're shooting for and why you're shooting for them.
Amazing.
Does that make sense?
Thanks for sharing. I think the wonderful thing is that people operating at the different levels, they all have fears, they all have the limitations, the limiting because the brain works the same way for everybody. However, it's the way we deal with that voice, we deal with the story, we create the reframe.
Right.
I know for a long time I thought, hey, how could I serve Americans? I'm in the UK. How could I serve American women? Why would they trust me in the women helping women see? And I kind of overcame that with giving value and really helping and serving. What's the limitation that comes up for you sometimes um, in your mind in terms of when you want to expand your vision and how do you overcome it?
Ooh. The one recently was getting into shops, getting my decks into shops. I'd go into all these metaphysical shops and I'd be walking around talking to them. I'd be buying stuff and I'm like, oh, look, they sell these. I wonder how I could get my cards in here, but didn't want to actually ask. My husband is my biggest supporter. So he would be like, hey, do you, and I'm like, he goes like, ask. He's like, poking me, ask. So if I let him know what it is that I'm working to get to, he gives me that shove that I need. And then I'm also always going, okay, if this was a student of mine, what would I say to her? And then I just tell it straight up to myself. Listen, you've got this. You know you matter. You know what you have helps people in a big way. Just ask. All they can do at the worst case is say no. It doesn't belong in their store. But I've not had anybody say no yet.
Wow, that's powerful. It's making the art. It's essentially going for no. Go for no. Like that's the worst that can happen, right? As the famous book says.
And I always highly recommend when you hear no, please follow it up with a question. Is it no forever or is it no now because you got things going on? Because everyone says it could mean that, but I'm telling you, in the ask, when you ask that question, it's going to make a difference in everything you do. You will then know, do I waste my time reaching back out to this person or do I cut them off the list? Ask the question.
Last question from me. How would you like to be remembered when it's all said and done?
I would definitely have to say, all I keep hearing in my head when someone asks me this is, Heidi was the one that was able to help me see me for who I was. And if everybody that I work with is able to say that, then I have done what my purpose is here, because my purpose was brought to me because of a fall. And it really shifted my life. So do know that if you're not on your purpose and you're really off kilter, you will be redirected in a big way.
Amazing.
The bigger your purpose, the bigger your redirection.
Let them know how they can connect with you and who you're looking to connect with.
I'm looking for anyone that's connect with that is frustrated, stuck, feels like you are meant for more, because you are. You can reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all under Heidi Meckley or Heidi the Soul Healer. And you can also email at info@HeidiTheSoulHealer.com. And my website is HeidiTheSoulHealer.com. I try to keep it as simple as I can so that people can remember what it is.
And love that we are blessed to have had Heidi the Soul Healer today in live and direct. Thank you ever so much, Heidi.
Thank you very much, Jay.
She leads, she sells, and we are out.